first president of Kazakhstan flew to Tokyo on invitation of Japan's government. He took part in the official enthronement ceremony of Emperor Naruhito. Guests who arrived in the country include kings of Sweden, Cambodia, the Netherlands, Belgium, Spain, and Malaysia. In total, the event was attended by about 2,000 attendees from more than 170 countries. Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev is expected to hold several bilateral meetings in Japan in conjunction with the visit.
Правительство Японии и лично премьер-министр Шинзо Абе высоко оценивают нынешний визит Нур-Султана Абишевича Назарбаева.
The Japanese government and the Prime Minister highly appreciate the visit of Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev to Japan. They have expressed their sincere appreciation, given that the event is sacred. The participation of the first president of Kazakhstan in this event shows the high level of Kazakh-Japanese relations and strategic partnership between Japan and Kazakhstan.
Уровень казахстанско-японских отношений и отвечает долгосрочным интересам стратегического партнерства между Казахстаном и Японией.
Kazakhstan and Japan established diplomatic relations 27 years ago. Since then, the countries became good business partners as well. The trade turnover between the two countries amounted to almost $1 billion in the first few months of 2019. Japanese investments in Kazakhstan are estimated at more than $6 billion. Japan is in the top 7 foreign investors list in Kazakhstan. 77 Japanese enterprises in oil and gas, metallurgy, finance, and automobile industries are operating in Kazakhstan. Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev has met with President of Ukraine in Tokyo. The first president of Kazakhstan expressed concern with events in the country. Peaceful management in the southeast of Ukraine is extremely important for further development of the state. During the meeting, Vladimir Zelensky spoke about his measures of changing the country and invited Nur-Sultan Nazarbayev for a friendly visit to Ukraine. I'm keeping an eye on Ukraine every day. I care about your country, not only because I have been studying for 2 years in Ukraine. Thank you very much. Qualitative and economic changes are really needed. We are re-electing law enforcement. The country had waited for it for a long time. It is important to peacefully conduct the elections. I invited Mr. Tokayev to Ukraine. I would like to take this opportunity to invite you as well. We always support Kazakhstan and very grateful to you.
Мы, как Украина, вы знаете, мы всегда поддерживали Республику Казахстан, и вам благодарны.
Kazakhstan plans to increase the volumes of export products to China. Currently, 50,000 tons of products are being delivered to the neighboring country. Local flour producers plan to reach 2 million tons of export. To date, the list of companies exporting to China involves 217 Kazakh enterprises, including 30 flour mills factories. We are very interested in Chinese market because of its great volume of consumption as well as huge population. This is a huge market for us. For example, today, purchasers came and signed a contract on 3 carriages for test batch. We expect that in the future, the volume will be increased.
В Китае сейчас в настоящий момент идет открытие бума.
The most popular food in China is hamburger. There are a lot of Turkish cafes. Once you try a hamburger's bun made by our Kazakh flour, you will like it so much, you will not even want to try others. Therefore, there is a great potential of increasing demand from the Chinese market.
Есть огромный потенциал. Потребность со стороны китайского рынка будет только увеличиваться.
Protests have started in several cities in Bolivia. The demonstrators who came out to the streets do not agree with the preliminary election results of the country. The opponents of the current head of state suspect that the Electoral Commission had manipulated the vote count in favor of Morales. According to the Supreme Electoral Tribunal, the president received over 46% of votes, while his rival Carlos Mesa received 37%. A mass strike of teachers continues in Chicago. About 30,000 teachers took to the streets demanding increase of salary and social benefits. At the same time, the teachers are asking to reduce the number of children in classes as well as to hire more social workers, nurses, and librarians. Mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot, said that the teachers' salaries will be increased by 16% over the next 5 years, and the average salary will reach $100,000 a year. However, her claims were not believed by the teachers. Residents in the suburbs of Los Angeles, in one of the most expensive areas of the Pacific Palisades, are being evacuated due to the forest fire. Hundreds of luxury villas on the coast are in danger of destruction. Fire came close to the houses, which cost millions of dollars. Authorities are coping with the fire, but so far without any success. Rescuers and police have completely cordoned off the area. Turkmenistan and China intend to strengthen cooperation in transport and energy sectors. This was announced at the meeting of delegations between the two countries in Beijing. The parties also agreed to take measures to start and protect mutual investments as well as support commercial enterprises in order to initiate economic activities in the countries. Ashgabat will host an international oil and gas forum. Representatives of state bodies of Turkmenistan, leading world oil and gas companies, major international organizations, and financial institutions will take part in the forum. Experts will discuss topics such as innovative technologies for deep processing of oil and gas, new investment projects in the oil and gas industry, and others. Furthermore, representatives of foreign companies will discuss topics of mutually beneficial cooperation with the leadership of Turkmenistan's oil and gas complex. Since the beginning of the year, Kazakhstan has increased rice exports to Uzbekistan by 34 times. Revenue from the exports amounted to nearly $7 million. Thus, Uzbekistan is the leading exporting country of Kazakh rice. In the first 8 months of this year, Kazakhstan exported 54,000 tons of rice worth $15.5 million. Tajikistan and Russia also topped the list of Kazakh rice importer. China's Guilin city hosted the second international conference, One Belt, One Road, One Tourism. The third meeting will be held in Samarkand in 2 years. The meeting will be held in Central Asia for the first time. The international conference, One Belt, One Road, One Tourism, is an interactive platform that gathers scientists and tour operators from around the world. Bishkek hosted the third international competition of Russian romance titled Central Asian Romance Games, where more than 70 performers from Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan took part. The participants were mostly young people.
Знаете, чтобы петь, это надо философски, первый думать, потом
I think that it is necessary to think as a philosopher and then feel it in order to sing. As I said at our Kurmangazi Kazakh Conservatory, romances are more difficult to sing than operas. During the singing, I had a feeling that my heart will not keep all the emotions. In the first tour, I sang We Sat Together by Tchaikovsky. I even wanted to cry.
Эмоции не можешь держать на сцене. Вот на первом туре я пел «Мы сидели с тобой», Чайковский. Хотел даже плакать.
Islam Khamzayev arrived from Kazakhstan and performed in such a complicated nomination of Kyrgyz romance. The jury highly appreciated his performance. As a result, Islam won the honorable third place.
Мне самому, как знаете, киргизский, когда я пел, ничего такого сложного.
It was not hard for me to sing in Kyrgyz because we are fraternal people and have similar words. Some of the words I did not know, I asked Kyrgyz people who live in Kazakhstan to demonstrate the pronunciation. They showed me because of the similar nation and similar soul.
Они показали нам, и все. Знаете, душа у нас как-то одинаковая.
Kyrgyz singer Miran Janarbay Ulu has won the festival's Grand Prix. He will represent his country at the International Romantiada in Moscow. Every year, the best young performers of lyric songs from around the world gather in the capital of Russia. Popular Kazakh writer Abdijamil Nur-Peisov, who is best known for his Blood and Sweat trilogy, turns 95. The capital hosted an international research conference of Kazakh classical literary critics who discussed the personality and creativity of the famous Kazakh writer. Public figures, literature critics, writers, journalists and poets took part in the event, and they opined that Abdijamil Nur-Peisov significantly contributed to literature and art of the 21st century. Today, every school student is aware of his popular works. Books by the writer are translated into many languages, including French, German, Spanish, Chinese, and Arabic.
Абдижамил Нурпейісов бұл шын мәнінде мына қазақ прозасын әлемдік деңгейге көтерген абыз қаламгеріміз. Оның шығармаларын тек Қазақстанға емес.
Abdijamil Nur-Peisov is an outstanding writer who managed to bring Kazakh prose to a new qualitative level. Today, Kazakhs read his works, and also people from the Commonwealth of Independent Countries are aware of his works. His books have been translated into different languages. The writer dedicated his entire life to issues of the Aral Sea. I think that his work changes our self-awareness and lifts up the national spirit.
Олардың шығармашыларын насихаттау арқылы көпшілікті кітап арқылы өзінің рухани байлығын күшейтуге маңыз беріліп отыр.
Қазақ әдеби тілінің алтын қорына жатқызуымыз керек.
I believe that every work of Abdijamil Nur-Peisov should be included in the Golden Fund of Kazakh literature. He spoke the language fluently. He went through the war and witnessed everything. He shared and conveyed everything which happened back at that time. His words go deep to the soul. His birth is a blessing to our nation. We must honor the work of this classic writer. The sociological profile of the NEET generation in Kazakhstan was made by experts at the Youth Research Center. The experts studied the key problems and challenges of youth associated with employment, as well as their participation in state programs.
Исследование проводилось во всех регионах.
The research was conducted in 17 regions in the country. The total number amounted to 2,000 respondents. It was carried out by sociologists from our center and lasted for 2 weeks.
И оно заняло 2 недели.
The most recognizable among the respondents were state programs such as With a Diploma to the Village, Youth Practice, Jasil Liel, and the International Scholarship Bolashak.
Первое – это ориентация государственной молодежной политики
The
на...
first recommendation is the orientation of youth policy towards long-term targeted work with various youth groups. The second is the activation of work on conducting information events at the place of residence of young people. The third recommendation is conducting outreach activities and classroom hours with parents of students. The next suggestion is the involvement of students in extracurricular events with the creation of free leisure centers for young people. NEET includes the youth who is unemployed and currently not undergoing school training. The program was first used in the United Kingdom at the end of the 20th century. It is then adopted by other countries as well. Nur-Sultan will host the Kazakh language in the Process of Global Identity Forum on October 24th. 250 delegates from all the regions of Kazakhstan are expected to take part in the event. The event will be attended not only by scientists and linguists, but also official members, civil servants, representatives of national companies, business people, as well as experts in education and science. Orthography of new alphabet, transition to Latin alphabet, as well as expansion of application areas for Kazakh language will be discussed at the forum. Moreover, exhibition of interactive devices will also be organized to help learn easily and effectively the new alphabet and Kazakh language.
Форум аясындағы көрсетілетін, таныстырылатын нәрсе жаңа әліпбиге негізделген оқыту және...
Another topic to be discussed at the forum is a development of methods for teaching and studying based on the new alphabet. Products which allowed the adaptation of the Latin alphabet to IT technologies will also be presented. Our goal is to determine the upcoming work on the transition to the Latin alphabet.
Алдымыздағы латын графикасына көшу жұмыстарын айқындау және осы жұмыстарды пысықтау.
Almaty hosted an international ethno-festival, Uli Dalayeli, where more than 20 performers of traditional music from Turkic countries such as Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Bashkortostan, Karakalpakstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan and Iran presented their repertoire. They performed fragments from well-known epics. Organizers said that the main goal of the event was the promotion of national, spiritual, and moral values, as well as the revival of culture and traditions. The festival was held for the 7th time this year.
Түркі халықтарында осы жыршылық дәстүр деген кереметтей кеңінен қанат жайған өнер.
Turkic people have a lot of epics, including heroic sagas, lyrical and epic poems, which are called jir. For example, Kazakh people have over 70 heroic epics. About 100 historical sagas are known so far. We are considered to be one of the leaders in the world in terms of the number of heroic epics. The goal of our event is to introduce the heritage of our ancestors to all willing people.
Сол кереметтей асыл мұрамызбен халықты таныстырғымыз келеді.
Фестиваль этот очень важен, чтобы дать на следующий.
This festival is very important to provide a platform for younger generation to hear the songs sang by old people. We are learning from children, and the children are learning from us. Such festivals preserve the heritage of the people.
Вот такие фестивали, как бы, он сохраняет народ.